Welcome to RVCast. In June of 2024, we held the inaugural RV convention. And today, we're excited to revisit an episode from that enormously successful event. Get ready for insights, tips, and inspiring stories from our special guests. And enjoy this informative episode as we dive into the world of RVing. Hello and welcome back to another segment of the RV Convention. I'm your host, Dave Stanley, coming to you from the cab of the Stanley Streamer. And this episode features Jimmy and Lisa Cox of FindUsCamping.com, one of the world's best sources for all things RV. With their wealth of knowledge and experience, this episode, it's a must-see. You got to check into this one. See, Jimmy and Lisa, they are full-time RV couple and curators of FindUsCamping.com, which is a camping and RV travel blog, YouTube channel, and social media platform. They share their experiences exploring the country to help people find the best camping and RV destinations, tips, gear, and most importantly, helping build the RV community. Jimmy and Lisa, it's such a great pleasure to have you as guests on this year's RV convention. Welcome.
Thanks you for having us.
So I am so thrilled to have you because you guys have the great mix. You guys are a wealth of information, but you do it also in a very entertaining and fun way that makes people really enjoy watching what you guys are doing.
Well, we really tricked you then, I guess.
That's what it's all about, though, right? It's got to be fun. It can't be too serious and too structured.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your background. What led you to become full-time RVers?
We started RVing 17 years ago in a pop-up and worked our way up. You know, it was always we wanted to have the big fifth wheel. We wanted to have a toy hauler. Eventually we got the big toy hauler and no longer have the toys. And the kids are all grown and they're all doing their own thing.
Now we're talking about maybe downsizing a little bit.
Yeah. So there's that conversation. But it really started, we were having fun. We were doing things with the kids, going to the places, doing the things. And we started looking for what's a Facebook name or, that we can use to just capture the moments and be able to go back and look at them. And through a series of, is this an option? Is that available? Find Us Camping is where we landed. And then as everybody got older and started a change in life, we started doing long weekends and then weeks.
Longer weekends.
And then months. And then we're just not coming home for a while.
3.5 later, here we are.
Yeah. And the kids quit saying, when are you coming home? And started saying, are you coming home? And then it became a way to share with the friends and family back home, this is what we're doing, where we're going. So it kind of progressed into that. And then we learned that we just love the RV community and we really enjoy planning things where we
Hold on.
Build that community.
You said you really enjoyed planning.
I do enjoy planning them. I more than enjoy the planning. I more enjoy actually doing them and getting to meet the people. And the more people we meet and the more we all bring them together, the bigger the community gets and the more fun it becomes. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Very cool. So how long have you been full time?
It was 3 years in October.
Wow. So you did go into this thinking that, hey, let's establish an online presence and eventually go into full-time RVing, or did it grow organically?
Well, basically, we started RVing, just having fun RVing and taking pictures here and there. And then once we started getting into those longer weekends, longer weeks, then it was more we're sending pictures back home to show everybody. We're doing a little bit of video here and there to show everybody. And then all of a sudden, it just got organically started growing. And then when we started going to the Tampa shows and the RV shows and the Hershey, all those different shows, people say, hey, I know you guys. And we go, hey, something's going on here. So then it became a job. Then it became what it is now.
It also became it's about the people at home, the family wanting to know what you're doing. But then it's also so these people you meet along the way can see what you're doing and maybe meet up with you somewhere or are your paths going to cross and you could spend a weekend together kind of thing. So it's just kind of organically grown to be what it is.
Wow, fantastic. Was there a certain turning point that you came to realize that, oh, hey, we're going to stop whatever else we're doing and now do this full time.
I think it was the shows basically when people, it felt weird 2 or 3 years ago. We wanted to go see one thing in particular at a show, and for the whole week we couldn't get there because people were stopping us to talk to us. And we're not big now, but we weren't even that big then. And like the last
we had
day,
no idea.
The last day at the show, we had hats on and covered up, and we just said, we're going to go see this camper.
And I just wanted to go see this.
We never made
RV.
it. We never made it.
And like totally had no clue. Like we start walking through, and people are like, "Hey!" And it's like, oh, okay. Like had no idea that we had reached any kind of status like that. We're just walking around doing our thing. So
that's what kind of game. It's like, okay, we have people now. So now it's time to help build the RV community. So,
wow. So you guys actually had to go full incognito.
It didn't
disguise.
Literally, we had on generic T-shirts, ball caps pulled down. They were just trying to like muddle through the crowd, and people would be like, "Hey, I know you. I follow your channel." And of course, you're going to stop and talk to them because that's what it's all about. And you can't say, "Hey, I can't talk to you right now. I'm trying to go see this RV." But like we had no idea until that year at the show that, this is serious now. We need to maybe take it a little more serious and, be focused.
But we did learn now the shows, there is media days and all that. So now we use media day for us to go see what we need to go see and do it. And then we just use the rest of it.
Then we can be social the rest of the time.
But yeah, that was the turning point basically right there when it's like, wow, we have people that really watch us because you have no idea. You do a YouTube video and you see the views climb, but you never really know who's watching you. And then when people say, "Hey, I watched that last video you did," or "Remember when you were here? Remember when you did that?" And I remember when your kids were younger. It's like, okay,
yeah, you really are watching. You really are paying attention to the whole thing.
Oh, that's fantastic. So even the Find Us Camping has evolved from sharing photos, videos with family and friends to something much bigger. What has it become now? What will people find at finduscamping.com?
Well, basically now it's us building that RV community now. So now that we know we have people and we have people there.
And so we try to do camp outs is what we call them, different events throughout the year. This year we will have a total of 3, 4, 5, 6. It started with 3. It initially
started with one.
But this year
there was 4 or 5 of our friends.
This year there was going to maybe be 3, and then there's 4, and here we go. I think we enjoyed the people, we enjoy the places, and we didn't realize how much we enjoyed that combination until we started with the first camp out and the second camp out. And there were all these people coming together, and some of them knew one another when they got there, right? And some of them came because their friend was coming, and we didn't even know all of them. But they all showed up, and by the end of a weekend, without any prompting, they've all kind of landed and met the people that have the same interests as them, because you're going to go play cornhole because that's what you enjoy. Guess who else you meet? The people that also enjoy cornhole, or, that kind of thing. And so without trying to create groups, without trying to introduce specific people to one another, they did it on their own. And then a month or 2 later, they're posting pictures like on our page or on their own social media pages where they're camping together, and they didn't know each other before the camp out. So that just makes my heart happy. And it got us to realize that that's what it's all about, which we knew that's what it was all about, right? But we didn't realize what an impact that could have. So
and now what we're saying is we invite you and you invite 2 or 3 other people. So now the organic part of it is growing, and it's just like at one of our boondocking last year, we started with 15 RVs. We got to 48 RVs last year, and that's not even until October of this year, and we were already full at 72. And it's not because of us, it's because of all of our people. They all talked it up, and they said, we're going to bring somebody next year. We're going to bring somebody next year. And all of a sudden it just filled up really, really quick.
So we have a waiting list, and it's not even happening till October. So that's a good thing though, because they all meet one another. And like we do live events on YouTube now, and it's fun to watch the comment section. People are commenting to us, but more importantly, they're commenting back and forth.
They're talking to each other.
Because they've either met on this live, or most of the time they've met at one of our campouts. They don't see each other on a regular because they're all over, different places, but they come together on our live events and talk amongst one another and talk to us at the same time. So it feels like we're having a big impact on that community building, which is what's important to us. So
Wow, that is so cool, because one of the overriding themes of this RV convention for this year is connection. And you guys are creating that and promoting the connection, because a lot of people that go full-time RVing are leaving a network of neighbor friends and close family and things like that. And there's still a longing to connect. And it's amazing, isn't it, in the RV community, how easy it is to make connections, especially as you're camping together.
Well, we often talk about, because we have a lot of friends that have kids traveling with them. And there's a whole group of people, I'm going to say outside of the RV community, but not even all of them are outside, that say it's unfair. You know, you're taking your kids on the road and they don't get that interaction that they would get at school or in a neighborhood or whatever. We were at a meetup, I guess a year or two ago, and there were probably 8 families that had children, all different ages, right? And of those, maybe 2 families that the kids knew one another. We weren't there maybe 3 hours. And if you had walked up, there's no way you would have been able to tell me which kids knew one another before they got there. And Jimmy relates it a lot because he grew up, his dad was in the Army. And he says, you know, when as an Army brat or a military brat of any, you know, branch, you have to quickly make friends. You know, you land somewhere, you're only there for a couple of years, and then you're somewhere else.
And we didn't have social media back then.
Right. There was no way to keep in touch back then other than to write a letter, right? And so he said, you know, the RV kids that are living that full-time life, it's like military kids on steroids. Like, they don't have 2 or 3 years. They have 2 or 3 days or a couple of weeks. And so, as funny as it is that people think, well, those kids aren't going to know how to make friends, I feel like
they're doing a better job.
They do a better job than the kids that are in the school system. They don't come in with any like, oh, well, you're the kid that lives there or lives here, or you like this. They don't care. They just come together and they're like, hey, you want to go to the playground? Let's go to the pool. Let's do this. And then they're hanging out watching a movie, you know, at somebody else's camper. And they might not see that kid for 6 months, but then they might bump right back into them. And
in a week, they do it all over again.
Yeah.
7 days.
They're military kids on steroids. They're doing the thing. And so, like, the parents are doing the same thing, but it's kind of cool to watch the kids because they just, boom, right together they come.
That's so cool. And I'm amazed at the number of participants in this year's convention who are full-time travelers with kids. And they do the homeschool thing. And all of them are talking about what a wonderful setup it is for their kids, because they actually get to visit the things that they're studying and experience it firsthand. Which
the first full-time family we met, that's what she said. She said she had been a teacher before they hit the road. And so she was homeschooling her kids, very qualified to do so. And she said, you know, like when we're studying Plymouth Rock,
we go to Plymouth Rock.
We're at Plymouth Rock. You know, we schedule those curriculum activities around where we're going to be so that we're not just looking at pictures and reading about it in a book. We're there, you know, like we are at the thing. So I think that's cool. Like, there's so many kids out there that never get to see half those things in person. And
that is a fantastic opportunity because living it is one thing, studying it is totally something less, for sure. Well, let's dive deeper into the camping that you're doing this year. You're calling it the Find Us Camping Crawl, is that correct?
That is correct.
Give us more information. You know, what, where, when is that all about?
So we're starting.
This is year 1.
Yeah, this is the first time ever. So hopefully this will be a huge success because we already have the next 2 years in the works, which would be kind of sad if it doesn't play out as we expect it to this year. We are leaving Virginia June 1st, us and 6 other RV families, and we are heading out. We're heading westward. And then in a big loop. So we're going to go out like to Arizona, across the tip of Texas, and then up to Montana.
She's not real good geographic. You can't go to Arizona to Texas.
No. Through
we're
Texas.
Texas up to Arizona.
Through Texas, over to Arizona, up to Montana, and then back down south.
And I have
east.
her guiding us this way. So
I have a program, so it works. Southeast and landing in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It's a little over 6,800 miles that we're going to cover in the time frame of 2 months. And so what we're going to do, like the campouts we talked about earlier, there's going to be 3 of those kind of along the way. So there will be 7 of us making this trip. And that's all the more we could handle, especially for the first one, to make the entire drive together. But where people can join in is we're going to be at Yellowstone. So Sun Outdoors Yellowstone North. We will be there June 26th through the July 3rd. So like people can go to our website and we have Facebook pages that'll tell you how you can make a reservation. So you could join us there. You don't have to make the whole trip. You could join us there. We have one in the Black Hills of South Dakota, so Mount Rushmore.
So here's a good thing for July. So if the kids want to see Mount Rushmore and do a little
so if you're that full-time family, right? July 12th through July 16th, we will be at a property there, and then we will finish the crawl Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, at the Sun Outdoors there, July 23rd through the 29th, and so what we do is we're there for, we'll say 4 to 7 days, just depending on the place. We'll catch the local sites. We'll hang out around the campfire. We'll do all the RV things. And then we'll do a community give back while we're there. So like in Yellowstone, we're working with the local food pantry and shelter, and they need water, the small water bottles, like the little bitty, like, I don't know if they're 8 ounce, but the ones, because they always need water, and they need socks for adults. Because in the winter, socks get wet. Then you need a new pair. Socks get wet, and they're stupid expensive. So we'll be collecting between now and when we get there. And then anybody that joins us there is encouraged to bring water and socks. And then we'll do a day at the pantry where we help them do whatever they need us to help them do, and then make our donation. In South Hills, we're helping do a cleanup at the campground, and there's an observatory. They need some help cleaning up the path, the walkway up there. So so just depending on what that area needs. We haven't nailed down what we're going to do in Pigeon Forge yet. We're trying to do something with like the Dolly Parton book thing that she does, I don't know what it's called, Rainbow Library or something. We're trying to get in with them to do something to do with that. But if not, we'll find something else. So just try to do something while we're there where we can help, we can give back whatever it is they need for that area, which it's different everywhere you go. So that
sounds great.
The crawl for this year.
That sounds great. So the full trip, you're already solid on participants there, but everybody can go in. Is there a limitation to the number of people that can join these outbreak camping events?
Our small ones, the ones out in Yellowstone and the ones in Black Hills, we only have 25 spots available for those because it's smaller campgrounds. I think most of them were half full already with those. But Pigeon Forge is a big RV park, so I think we have about 75 to 100 spots reserved for us to come there. So yes, they're definitely all still open. Pigeon Forge is still pretty wide open because it's not till July. So, but yeah, any of those locations, you can join us right now.
Great. And would they go through your website to make those reservations, or go directly to the site that the camp is held at?
Yeah. So if you go through our website, it gives you a number. It's an 800 number to call, and you can book any or all of those at that same one number. You just tell them you're with our group and which things you want to go to, and they can get you set up. And
when you go to our website, you'll see them all listed, and they're on a map where they are. You can click on each one of those too, and we also have a Facebook page for each one of those, so you can start talking and seeing what's going on in every one of them there too. So.
Oh, fantastic. And so anybody listening, please check the show notes. We'll put a link to every one of these social media links so that you can go right there and register for any of these. What would you say is going to be the big takeaway that whoever participates in any one of these camps is going to come away with?
We're hoping the RV community. That's what we keep going back to. We're hoping that somebody meets somebody there, and they can hopefully travel maybe down the road with one of these and become great friends with them. So,
and like our motto or tagline is the people, the places. So this trip will incorporate the two of those, the people, and we're going to see the places as we travel. If they join us at one of the campouts, we're going to meet them there and get to know them. But still, the campouts are all at places. I mean, Mount Rushmore, Yellowstone, Pigeon Forge, they're all places. So it just kind of brings it all home, puts it all together.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm so glad that you mentioned all of the information that you've got going on at the camps. And also, people that can't make it to any of the camps or the crawl, they can still follow along and catch every little detail of the trip.
Yeah, we're going to be sharing it all along the way.
We have one main goal on every one of those pages and every one of our videos that we do. We want to give them that FOMO. We want to give them that fear of missing out. So next year when we do our next crawl, they want to jump into that and not miss out on that one. So that's our biggest goal, is to make it so they want to see the next couple.
Well, and we'll be sharing, of course, like, because that's just what we do. But then we have like a Facebook page for each event along the way. And so people that are at that event can post their pictures. So it's not just from our perspective. It's also people that are participating can post pictures or videos of what they saw, what they enjoyed, what they did as well. So makes it
fantastic.
From all angles.
Great. Again, another community building resource. So that'll be fun. I look forward to following that along.
Maybe you can join one of them.
Yeah. We're consistently on the road, and so
you never know.
Yeah, maybe we'll see what fits into our schedule and our route. So it would be great to meet you guys in person.
Right.
So let's pivot back to what you do with the Find Us Camping. It's more than just telling your story, right? You do a mobile display unit and also product reviews. Tell us a little bit about what the mobile display unit is and what that means.
Well, the mobile display unit is...
It's this.
What we're sitting in right here. So basically, way back when, before we were nobody, we would sit into the campgrounds and we would see people come in and we would see this RV. You go, wow, that's a pretty cool RV. Or you would see somebody have this neat little contraption on there and go, wow, I wonder what that is. But you were always too afraid to kind of go up and just talk to somebody. Say, hey, can I come in and see your RV? Can I come in and see
what floor plan is that?
What floor plan? What you guys have as handles and all that kind of stuff. So one day I just said, you know what, let's see if we can reach out to some people and say, hey, this is what we do. What we want to do is bring the RV show to our campouts. So we've hooked up with a bunch of different partners and they have put their products on our RV. So when we're at the campouts, we will open our RV up for you to literally come in and see. So if you've never seen a toy hauler before, here's your chance. Walk through the whole RV and see the toy hauler side of it. The furniture we're sitting in right here is from Rec Pro. So they bring, before you get a piece of furniture, you want to be able to sit in it and you want to feel it and you want to see how it fits you. So I can go online and look at it and go, yeah, that looks like it'll work, but I'll never get to really see it. So we partner with Rec Pro and they give us the chairs and now you can literally sit in it, kick your feet out and see how it really works. So we have it all the way from MoRide to Rec Pro to Solar Solutions on our Future Solutions, our solar system on top, all the way to many different companies, all the way down to RV Life, which does all of our trip planning for our trip. So if somebody wants to come in and say, I don't care about your furniture, I don't care about your camper, but I need to know how you plan your trips, we will sit right here or at the picnic table and Lisa will pull out the computer and show you exactly how we do it. So it's basically, we show you how we've been doing this for years and years and years and the products that we use along the way.
And that doesn't make us professionals,
no, we're not professionals
by any means. However, we have learned, sometimes painfully, the easiest ways to do things, or things that, seem to work better than others. And so it's, and you think about, at home, there's an RV show, like at our home base, there's an RV show every spring and fall. It's small, it's not a Hershey RV show or anything big like that, but it's an opportunity to go and see some things. But there are places that there's not an RV show. If you want to see, you either have to go to the dealership or you have to order something online, an accessory, and hope that when you get it, it's what you think you're getting. So this kind of gives people the opportunity to see it in person and touch it and feel it and ask questions. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it great? Is it awful?
We're going to tell you the truth.
And I'm going to tell you the truth.
If we don't like the furniture, I'll say, the furniture feels okay, but maybe the buttons that we have aren't in a good location, or maybe the buttons we have get stuck, or whatever it is. We are one of those people that if you give us a product to put in here, we are going to tell you our truth.
Yes.
And if I don't like it, it's off of here because this is my house. I'm not going to sit in this chair.
It'd be miserable.
If it's miserable. I'm not going to sleep on our bed up there if the mattress is not right. So I'm not going to say, just because they gave it to me, I need to sleep on this. So if it's not what we want or doesn't fit us well, it's out. It's we're not going to promote that product. So
our people trust us, and I'm not going to violate that trust. I'm not going to say it's great if it's not.
No, that doesn't mean you won't get something that doesn't fit you perfectly, but for us, it does good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and it's one thing to walk through an RV that's sitting on a showroom floor. Totally a different thing to walk through an RV that's actually in the campground, that has been traveled in for some time.
Yes.
Because, people may have that question of, man, I possibly want to consider going full time, but how is it actually living in it rather than just doing weekend warrior stuff?
Yes.
And that's the perspective that they can get from you guys. Right?
And we will sit down with those people if they want while we're at the campground. We will sit down with them for an hour or so and just literally talk to them. And we'll tell them what we've learned along the ways and what memberships and what programs we use and how we really like it. And we do tell you the goods and the bads, because there is bads. There's every day isn't a vacation.
It's not all unicorns and rainbows.
You don't get up and it's like, oh, everything's great today, let's go to the next day. So there is bad days.
Some travel days are good, some travel days are not. So like the first day we got to this campground we're at, that night it started pouring down rain. The next morning when we went to leave, there was no way out of our camper without walking through water that was going to get your feet wet. Like there was no hop to the dry spot. It was one of those, this is a great day to be in the RV park. This is fabulous. So.
But if that's our worst day, we're doing
But
good.
yeah. I mean, or you wake up and there's snow outside. Like it happens.
Yeah.
Even if you're in Texas, it still happens. So you got to...
Well, perhaps to get through that rain day, maybe you need to do a product review on pogo sticks. And I want to see you guys jumping around the campground.
And then we'd have a great video of the hospital visit later. And the sling or the cast or the crutches.
It's funny because a couple of weeks ago we did a reel on the rain day. I literally had to it was cold. I had to put my flip-flops on and walk with my tennis shoes and my socks through the water to get to the truck, and then switch my shoes and socks and put them on, because my shoes are those, what do you call it? They just get real wet.
They're the tennis shoes that are like, the meshy kind of stuff.
So that would have made for a bad day. So I'm walking at 30-some degrees through his mud puddle with my flip-flops to get to the truck. So, but yeah, I mean.
But you do what you got to do.
But you know what? The pogo stick might have been a pretty good, might have been fun too. So.
It would have been fun to watch if nothing else.
Well, you're welcome for the idea. And be sure to send some cred my way when you post that video from your hospital.
When you're in the ER.
Oh, that's fantastic. So the nice thing is, in following Jimmy and Lisa, is like they say, you are going to get the straight shot, right? They're not the ones that feel pressured to make a product endorsement just because somebody is pushing that product. They'll tell you straight up what the good, bad, and the ugly of any product that they endorse. And so fantastic resource for anybody looking into the RV world. So anything else that you'd like to tell us about the Find Us Camping site that we haven't covered?
Well, the only other thing we've done recently to help build this community again was we started our Find Us Camping Facebook page. And I can go on there and I can say, hey, we're going to do this, or check out this video, or check out this product, or whatever it is. And you can comment back. You were never able to start a comment because it was a group page, whatever Facebook wants to
whatever
call it.
It's categorized as that you can't comment.
We've had some of our people say, hey, we want to be able to post where we are and what we're doing. So I created a couple weeks ago the Find Us Camping Villagers page. And the Villagers all started with last year in May. We had our big camp out, 70 some RVs, and she had rotator cuff surgery. And she was
4 days prior.
She was in a sling, highly drugged up.
It was not my best day.
I told her, I said, why are we doing this right now, right before this big camp out? But it was the time they needed to do it, and they can do it while we were on the road. So we did it. And if it wasn't for all of our people.
If it wasn't for the village, we would have not made it through that.
We sat down after it was over, and I said, it took a village to do this. So
It did.
we called ourselves the Villagers because we had a bunch of villagers come together and make it all work without her help. I mean, she did a lot still, but
I don't remember a whole lot of it.
so
there's
back to
that.
the Facebook page, we call it the Finest Camping Villagers because that's the group. My goal is to get that page up as big as we possibly can because I want you to post when you're in Oatman, Arizona with these donkeys. Well, I have pictures of them reaching their head inside the thing. I want you to be able to say, hey guys. And it's funny because we've heard so many people talk about Oatman, Arizona. And there's a Facebook page. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it talks about some of the older things that happen in Oatman. But anyway,
It's a cool thing.
I want you to be able to post there and say, hey guys, we're in Oatman, Arizona. If you're ever in this area, you really should check it out. It's got the wild donkeys and all that kind of stuff. And that makes somebody else go, we need to go there. It's for that reason. It's for,
Or
hey,
if you're going to be in Oatman, Arizona or near that, and you could post on that page, hey, we're going here. What are the must-sees? Oh, well, you got to go to Oatman and see the donkeys. That's a must-see. It's a thing you've got to do. That you don't 2 weeks later say, we were here, and somebody go, oh my God, did you go to such and such? Nah, I didn't know about it.
we also have vendors and campgrounds and RV techs and RV on that page that I'm hoping once in a while I better say, okay, we're reaching out to all the RV industry people. If you have a campground, you have a dealership, you have a whatever, if you want to give a discount this week to the Finest Camping Villagers, post something and say, hey, if you come to our campground this week, you mention Finest Camping and we will give you 10% off. So I'm trying to help give back to the community that way. I'm trying to get a big list of partners on there that want to give back to the community, but that's not the biggest point of it. The biggest thing is, and we learned this a year or so ago, if something happens to somebody on the road, somebody breaks down, somebody gets sick, somebody needs help, we want to build the community big enough to the point where I only have 5,000 people on Facebook. If I put it on there, I want everybody to share it, to get it out if I need help. We want to build this page so big that when I put on there, hey, I'm in Oatman, Arizona, and my truck is broken down, I need help.
That somebody
is there that can help us get the truck off the road, help us get her off the road, help us do something to get it there. So that's where to be able to get everybody to post. That's where that came along because it's all about us. It's about Finest Camping. It's about you as the villager. It's about the community. But I want to be able to, I don't want it to ever happen. But if something happens major to somebody there, they can say, I need help. And this is where I am. And somebody in our community will either get there, share it on their pages, do something to get that person some help.
Well, because you think about it, when you're in a sticks and brick and you're at home, you're on your way home from work and your car breaks down and you're going to call your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. But if none of them answer, you're going to call your mom or your dad or your sister or your brother or your son or your daughter. You've got all these people because they're right there where you are.
6,000 miles away, you don't have that.
When home is California and you're in Maine, they're not coming to help you. Like they're not close enough. It doesn't make sense. But you may have somebody in your RV family that's in the next town over, and they can be right there with a jack or with a truck or with tools to help you. So
I hope this never happens.
Well, yeah, you don't want anything bad to happen, but like inevitably when you're on the road and you're traveling a lot, things happen, like life happens. And so if you don't have your friends and family nearby to help,
you have your RV family.
You have your RV friends and family that somebody maybe will be in your area and can come help you.
That is so great. So I could post on the Facebook group that, hey, I need a cup of sugar.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
And if it happens, I want you to take a picture
bring it over. And so I want to say something about Finest Camping real quick is that I feel like there's a lot of social media people out there that are social media people and they're unapproachable and people think they're unapproachable. So I just want to put a shout out to say, we're not those folks. If you see me out there, with a bag of dog poop and my dog on a leash, feel free to still stop and speak. My hair looking a mess, like I just crawled out of bed because it probably did. It's okay. Please stop and say hi. Wave if you're riding by. Like, approach. Please approach, because we're all about building that community, and we can't do it if you don't stop and say hi. I mean, I'm going to wave, but I'm not going to probably just come waltzing up and be like, hey, how are you? If you see us, stop us,
we're
say hi. We're just people and we want to engage with you.
Wow, I love that so much. If there was one word that I could attach to you guys, it would be real. You guys
Yeah.
are the real deal.
And we've been
And
told that many times when people actually meet us somewhere, they go, "You guys are exactly what you say on your videos and all that." Because, like she says, we're too old to have it.
I don't have the
I don't have
energy
the
to be two
energy
different
now
people.
to be different. I'm not going to be this person here and that person there and this person here. What you see on TV is what you're going to see at one of our
And
campouts.
some days I may look like I have it all together, and some days I may look homeless. But this is just who, it's who we are, and it's just
Take it or
that's
leave it.
all we know how to be. So that's who we are.
oh, that is so fantastic, you guys. Thank you so much. Again, everybody, check out the show notes to get all of the links to the social media. Really encourage you to join the Facebook
Villagers page.
the villagers page. That sounds like a fantastic asset for anybody in the RV community, and also for anybody that's not in the RV community that may want to be a helper, a lending hand, that if somebody's in your area, you can be a resource for,
Yeah,
hey,
that'd
if
be
you need a
awesome.
place to stay,
Yep.
come here. If you need a recommendation for a diesel mechanic or whatever it may be,
Or just a good restaurant wherever you are.
there you go. There you go. Wow. You guys are a fantastic RV community asset. Thank you so much for everything that you do. And thank you for sharing your extensive knowledge. This has really, really been a pleasure for me. And I'm so glad that we get to put you out to the audience here at the RV convention, and look forward to getting to know you more along the way in the future. So thank you for being a part of this, you guys.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Oh, fantastic. Well, hey, everyone, stay tuned for more insights, stories, and tips as we continue our convention lineup. And until then, we'll just see you on the road. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RVCast. We hope you enjoyed hearing about our latest adventures on the road.
And don't forget, if you're itching to explore unique and interesting RV destinations, be sure to download the Curb and Turf app.
That's right. Curb and Turf, it's your go-to for finding those hidden gems off the beaten path. And hey, if you own property and you want to share your slice of paradise with fellow travelers, why not become a host yourself?
Absolutely. Just head over to curbandturf.com/start hosting to get started, or reach out to us for more information.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss a future episode. So be sure to subscribe to RVCast so that you never miss a beat.
Until next time, happy trails and safe travels.
We'll see you on the road.